Welcome back again, another MadTown Hobby video, and today we're going to cover Genesis Battle of Champions and check out the new heroes they spoiled for the Metamorphosis set that is on its way. We have just gotten through Invasion coming to the market. They've been able to sell through their initial print run and get it out to distribution. By all accounts, a very successful launch. New starter decks, new card back, new partners. They've done a fantastic job. Edge of Exile being able to bring this game back full steam ahead back to the market. And so with that, we're looking ahead to the next set, Metamorphosis. Now, Jason has been doing some updates to their website. And so if you want to find these spoilers that I'm going to go through, look at genesisbattleofchampions.com, and over at the navigation here, you can go down to the library card images gallery. And here you can find the images for all the previous sets, as well as here the Metamorphosis spoilers. Here we go. Let's see, open this a new tab. First, we've got Isaac. Now, this thing is switching back and forth, so I'm not sure I can get there. Let me zoom in. There we go. We'll do it this way. He did a little nifty trick where if I mouse over, it switches to the other side. Metamorphosis is the first set that has two-sided heroes. They transform. So you've got Isaac Jalarian Smith. He is a blacksmith with a deal 2 fire damage, and he has a trigger. When your health becomes 8 or less, transform him. So you fight your game with this hero up until he takes enough damage that he goes below 8, and then as sort of a desperation, a transformation, he changes into Isaac Scourge of Night, a werewolf. And then he's got a different awareness. You can see as a blacksmith, he's got 1 space ahead. And then as the werewolf, he has 3 spaces in the row ahead of him. Deals 3 damage, so it's like a swipe attack. But if you... And then when he transforms into a werewolf, you can remove all the exert token, or you gain, Scourge of Night, you gain 8 health. So you go, so whatever puts you below 8, when you transform, you add 8 back to your life and remove exert markers. So let's say you were Isaac, you did your swift attack and exerted, and then you took damage that dropped you down. You get to transform and then attack again because you get to remove the exert. That's pretty cool. Interesting to see how that goes. Then we've got Kayun of the Flames. Soldier, you deal 2 holy fire damage. It's always fun to see the different damage types that this game has and applying weaknesses and all that. So this hero does holy fire damage. Trigger, at the beginning of your turn, you may move. So this character has extra movement, which means they're going to be going all over, as well as flight. So they're going to be able to move over units without flight. Now they made a rule change. They cannot occupy the same space as a unit that has flight. So gotta dodge other flyers, but you can fly over units without flight. If your style is more of a run and gun, move around quite a bit, dodging and moving, that's gonna be a great hero for you. And then you've got Odara, Queen of Rebellion. 2 spaces straight ahead, awareness. You deal 2 range damage to your target and your awareness. Target summon in your awareness loses 2 health, and then remove all exert. Interesting. So you can sacrifice a summon's health a little bit, but then you can give them a second attack. That's interesting. So if you've got big summons that have health to spare, then you can get them more utility on the board and deal more damage to your opponent. Then we've got Sung, Hunter of the Forest. Now this is an interesting awareness. You can't hit something directly in front of you, but you can do 2 spaces ahead. You deal 2 range damage, and the diagonal one is interesting. 2 range damage to a target in your awareness. Action, target summon in the arena gains marked. And marked means whenever this summon takes damage from a companion, destroy it. At the beginning of the game, choose a summon type. All summons of that type are considered companions. So if you build a deck that is like all one kind of summon, and then you name that your companions, then that means you can mark targets and have something deal just 1 damage to it, and it can be a huge summon with a bunch of life, but if it's marked and if your companion does a damage to it, it dies. That seems crazy powerful, and how it's going to be fun to see how people break that. And then we've got Caleb, Scholar of Jalara. So he's a smart guy working in the library, and then he seemed to have encountered a demon who wants to eat his intelligence. So he is a swift, deal 1 damage to target in your awareness, just 1 ahead, okay. He has an action to draw a card, so he's a card advantage hero. Except for the first round, when you draw your first card each round, reveal it. If it is 6 chi or more, transform Caleb, Scholar of Jalara. Okay, let's talk through this. So you draw your first card each round, reveal it, and let's say it triggers 6. You transform. So if you have let's see. Do you want to transform is the question. What is the advantage of transforming? Well, here you go. It's basically 2 heroes in 1 instead of a transformation, but it's a 2-sided hero, 2 heroes in 1, and you've got a demon on the other side, Redvorn, Soul's Desire. When a card goes into the opponent's memories, except from the timeline or by resolving, you may play it by discarding 2, or I'm not actually sure what that symbol means. I'm sure they said it. Instead of paying its cost. If you play it this way, transform. So if you focus on discard, removing cards from your opponent's hand, then when they discard, you can play that card. That's pretty crazy. So it's not only card advantage being able to draw on the other side of the hero, but in this side you can play your opponent's cards, which is pretty nuts. Oh, and here's how you might make them discard. Target combatant in Redvorn's awareness discards a card and loses 1 health. Okay. So you basically, if someone is within his awareness, you can exert him to make them discard, and then you can play that card. That's, oh man, wildly interesting. If you see the opponent's gonna most discards, like this is random, or not random. The opponent gets to choose what card they discard, so they'll know like, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to discard something he can play against me, and that makes that more complicated. And then we've got Sven, Elven Patriarch, a druid. Now there's a fun one. So werewolves and druids are kind of classes you'd expect to be able to transform. Swift, exert, you deal 1 air damage, okay. You can transform and remove all exert markers from you. Okay, so this you can do the exert from his side, but then it still lets you do something from the other side, and then you can only transform once per round. Okay, because ooh, wow, so he's got basically a swipe. Sven, Quilled Usurper, a Were-Kidna. You deal 4 electric damage to a target summoned in your awareness that you have not targeted this turn. You can also switch him back. So if you exert... Wow, okay. But he cannot play abilities from his thoughts. So he can't actually play any cards. Interesting. So here's how a turn goes. You've got Sven. You've played some cards out of your hand. You've summoned things. You've cast spells, and you can exert him to transform. You can do the swipe, the deal 4 electric damage. And then you can transform him back. And when you transform him back, it removes exert. So he can do something else again. Wow. The utility of this is going to be wild. You're going to be doing a lot with this hero, flipping back and forth. But then once you exert that second time as Sven, then you're done. You can't do it again. You can only transform once per round. Huh. Erica, Youthful Champion. Deal 1 damage to a target in your awareness. 20 health, okay. Place a dusk wolf from your subconscious on a spot adjacent to you facing the same direction and exert it. So, this Erica summons wolves. Man, if you like that theme, that animal deck, that style, that's pretty cool. Conjure a dusk wolf. I don't know if they're done designing all of the chase cards for this set, but it would be cool if there is a special dusk wolf you could get. That would be fun. And then coming back from previous iterations, Oni, Agent of Change. Deal 3 dark damage to a target in your awareness. Now, this hero is also you're going to be mobile like crazy. Okay, she's got a backstab ability. When attack abilities played by you resolve and you are behind the target, negate an ability played by that target, then gain 5 aura. Wow. Swift Warp. If you are not in an enemy's awareness, you may move to a spot adjacent to a target in your awareness. So if you are not, this is tricky. If you are not in an enemy's awareness, now does that include summons? So it's basically like if nothing can see you, then you're sort of in the shadows and you can warp to a spot behind them out of the shadows. Otherwise, if they can see you, you can't do this ability. That's interesting. I'm sure there's other spells and things you could do to move yourself. Like say you could sidestep or any of the other movement cards to move out of their awareness. And then you could do the warp. That would be pretty cool. Right, so you move, they attack you, you play a swift move, and then you can swift get behind them, and then you negate whatever ability they just did, and then gain 5 aura in the process. That would be crazy. So 8 new or new-ish versions of champions coming with Metamorphosis. Super exciting. Let me know who you're looking forward to playing, and I'd love to get some discussion on this. If you are not in the fan Discord, join the fan Discord, join the discussion. People are in there already brewing decks for these new heroes. Let's get the hype going, start up some conversations, and it'll be a great release. Looking forward to it. So, thanks for hanging out. Excited about this. We'll see you next time.